Like, I feel like I'm telling you what it is that I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and I feel like you walking over me, and the only way I can stop this is by effing something up.
Oh, Lord.
Essentially is how I felt. It's not like I got mad and then I just was like, "Boop, boop, boop," it was just like, "Okay, like, you steady like, shut up. I already said what I had to say, and this is bothering me. Now I feel like you think I'm stupid. So now I
Right.
gotta show you."
I said what I said. You either like it or you don't. I don't care. But I said it. And then to me, that's a red flag because it's just like,
Yeah.
why is it okay for you to say how you feel about other people? But as soon as somebody try to,
Yeah.
correct your behavior, it's like, oh,
I
girl,
would never.
please. Yeah. Red flag, flag on
You
the
don't
plate. Hey, y'all. All right. Let me get comfy.
You sound like that girl on TikTok that be eating that food. "Hey, y'all."
I'm going to cry. Do not. It good. Okay.
"Baby, it's good."
You stupid. Okay. And we back. 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 We are back with another
Hey.
episode of the You're Done podcast. It's your girl, Big Desto, not the little one.
And be more, never less.
And y'all, we're back. We are back with, I don't know, we almost done with season 5. After this, y'all,
I know.
Brittany does all the scheduling and stuff, but as y'all know, after season 5, y'all might just be getting TikToks and stuff like that for a little while. Oh, wait, we may have
Kinda
season
like
6. I don't know. But stay with
we may.
us. Pray for us, actually.
Please. Yes.
Bringing children into the world. It's crazy world. Anyways, we got a good topic for this. Because I was struggling with coming up with different topics and stuff. And then I feel like the stuff that I would come up with, I feel like I've said this before. I feel like they were very common, or what's the word? I felt like they were
Something we
very,
kinda, like, talked about before.
yeah, they were very common. I just said that. Okay, anyways, child. But I don't know, I was just laying in my bed the other day and I had finished reading the Bible and stuff. And like some of the topics just start, why do I look dark? It's like I cannot look away, or the lighting messes up. And that's annoying. Anyways,
Yeah, I
I
think you got it in a different focus today, but it's alright.
I'm not gonna look away, y'all. My bad. But I was just saying how I just basically started coming up with some topics, right? And so I put them in a handy dandy notebook. And the one we're gonna talk about today, I'm gonna check it off, is what are your red flags? The thing is, this is one that we've had on the list for a while, honestly. But I didn't think it's not that I think I don't have no red flags. I just couldn't think of them. Maybe that's a red flag.
I am perfect. You are the
Right.
problem.
It's you, not me. So yeah, but I think I got something I can say about it now. Like, I'm not like everybody has a red flag, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect. Everybody got something they can work on. So we're gonna talk about what our red flags are. I got some questions. So the first
Ooh,
question is
got
like,
questions today, y'all.
well, let's first talk about what our red flags actually are, I guess. Like, what is it about yourself that you have realized, and maybe what happened for you to realize, oh, yeah, I do that and that ain't really that. I should stop. You wanna go first,
Yeah.
or you want me to go first?
I can go first. I think
Okay.
my biggest red Woo, putting myself on Front Street. Okay, I think my biggest red flag is that we've seen a lot of things in our own family of how people function out of anger, And I feel like I would be like, "Oh, I would never do that," because you could just talk. "Oh, I would never do that because I wouldn't even be dealing with somebody like that." But baby, then I got mad. And before I knew it, I was flipping oh, she wanna flip tables.
This girl is shaking the table.
And and then I realized that I wouldn't say I had a bad temper because I wasn't out here causing drama, but I could certain things that people would do, I would allow them to affect my emotion or how I would respond to them. And then how I would respond actually was a reflection of things that I had seen, whether or not it's tearing up your furniture. Like, I didn't tear up my furniture, y'all, but throwing things like, you're finding outlets to get your anger out, but it's really not in a good way because then now you got a hole in the wall. That's crazy work. So I feel like my biggest red flag was that once I did get angry, it literally went too far. And then I'm like,
Right.
once you cool down, you're like, I definitely could have handled that better. But literally the damage is there.
So she
Yikes.
crazy.
Yeah, I'm better now though. I am much better. I will walk away. I will walk away now. But back then
So
I'd be
Brittany
like,
so Brittany's red flag is so I guess you would call that I wouldn't say you didn't know how to control your emotions, but maybe you once you like, I've had enough, then you kinda just went off the edge. It's just like, "Oh, this girl, she's crazy. She cannot be stopped." When people said
no,
TikTok
I
sound.
and I couldn't. Like a little Tasmanian devil.
And so and I feel like that's something that, a lot of people may struggle with though, because I feel like I'm one of those people that may, I mean, I've never threw anything. That's Brittany. But I got my own red flags.
Ro
I feel like
right?
I would sometimes be a little too passive. Like, I would, like, Brittany is like, "Oh, I done, let that slide. Now you got me effed up, and now I'm about to, show you, why it's never less around here." And so, I feel like
Right?
for me, I was kind of very, very passive. And it's like I would just it's but even if I did get to the point where it's like I'm over it and you have pissed me off, I would still just be like, "You know what? It ain't even worth it." And it's not that that's a red flag, but I guess in a way, people took it as they could play with me. And then I feel like
Yeah,
that was me, I guess, not sticking up for myself in a way. So that was something that I needed to work on. And it's not to say like, okay, I need to be going off the hinges for me to get my point across. But at the same time, people treat you the way that you allow them to, right? And I was allowing
yeah.
people to just do anything. I don't know what it was. I really have no idea because if you were to ask me to do that now, no. No, I'm not gonna throw nothing at you, but you can go. You really can go. We are not doing that today. So, I feel like if you play depending on which side of the fence that you're on, they both can be negative, you know? So, it's just like but
Yeah.
acknowledging it and growing past it. I've never witnessed Brittany throw anything, but granted, I don't piss her off like that. If I ever make you that mad where you wanna throw something at me, baby, we just don't need to talk, okay?
Mm-mm.
So, I feel like for me, one of my red flags was dang it, I don't know. I think I was a little bit emotionally inconsistent. That's one of them. Another thing that I
You say
struggle with
inconsistent?
yeah, so, like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of my emotions were based on what maybe other people were feeling or the things that were happening around me. Like, I wasn't strong enough within myself to be like, yeah, I'm standing on what I said. I hear what you saying, but,
Okay.
like, I
Yeah.
guess I was easily swayed, and, who wants to be like that? Not anymore.
Yeah.
You're not swaying, and I feel like a lot of the red flags that you notice about yourself, other people may not think, "Oh, you struggle with that," but I feel like I did, and I felt like,
Yeah.
to a certain extent, I was allowing people to dictate how I should feel, And it was just like,
Mhm.
yeah, we're not doing that. Cause I said what I said and we're not. No, that was stupid. What you did was stupid and you can just go. Cause I don't got time for this. So I had to realize that I was in control of my own life. I was in control of my own emotions. I was in control of how people were gonna, I'm not gonna say I was in control of how people were gonna treat me, but I had to set boundaries. That was another red flag. I wasn't good at that.
Yeah.
I didn't set boundaries. So a lot of people felt like they, this me and it's them. Just
Yeah.
walking all over you, girl. And so I just had to, put my foot down, really, and be like, okay, I'm tired of being treated like this, you know? But then, y'all,
Yeah.
here come another red flag. Then,
She got
once
more than
I
one.
learned, what'd you say?
I say she got more than one.
But once I realized, like, okay, I have to be more in control, I think I took that and ran with it. Now it was
Mm.
like,
No balance.
oh,
Okay, so it kind of sounds the same though. Like there was no balance because I feel like when I was younger, I wasn't. I actually felt like no one had a reason not to like me, right?
mhm,
So when people would say they didn't like me, I actually was more like interested in why. Like I would be like, well, why don't you like me? You know what I'm saying? You didn't offend me by not liking me, but I'm just like, well, what did I do, for you to
right.
say, like, you think that I'm this type of person? Because I feel like I was super nice to everybody. I smiled at everybody. I'm still very friendly and very much an extrovert. So that did bother me a little bit. But then I kind of feel like once I started dating, then you get other girls who want to be mad at you. I'm like, what you want me to do about it? You know what I'm saying? And then
Right.
the reasons for why they would be mad at me would be stuff like, oh, because she smiled all the time. And so I felt like in order for me to be who I am, which is this smiley version of myself, but then to also let you know, don't mess with me. Well, now I'm going to have to just cuss you out. And then I think as I got older, life happens, more things happen. It's no longer these little small middle school situations. I just continued to escalate from there. So I didn't have a happy median of being me and then hearing someone out, or at least I thought I was, until like I can't come back. Like I feel like I'm telling you what it is that I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and I feel like you walking over me. And the only way I can stop this is by effing something up.
Oh, Lord.
Essentially is how I felt. It's not like I got mad and then I just was like, "Poop, poop, poop." It was just like, okay, like you like shut up. I already said what I had to say, and you bought this. This is bothering me. Now I feel like you think I'm stupid. So now
Right.
I gotta show you. I ain't no punk, which is not how you should handle anything. So I was
Exactly.
a
That's
walking red flag in that department.
that's where the red flag come into play. There's many other ways for us to be able to, like, regulate our emotions and stuff like that, and I feel like
Mhm.
I I didn't do it good at first, but then once I feel like, "Oh, okay, enough is enough," now it's like I
Yeah.
didn't I wasn't, like, physical, but my words, oh, I done had some people say, like, "Why would you?" 'Cause I said it. And what you gonna do about it? Because it was just, I'm so tired of y'all. Like, this is the last time y'all think y'all finna play with me. Okay? And so I just felt
Yeah.
like I went from one extreme to the next. And honestly, it's not to say like you can't show, like I said, you can show people how to treat you, but it's a way to go about
Yeah.
it. I don't have to get out of character for them to know that they can't play with me. I but I didn't know how to do that. It was one or the other. You either gonna play with me or Imma have to go crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was no gray area gray area for me to fall in between, and I had to learn how to, that's why I said I was emotionally inconsistent because I don't know, I would go from one thing to the next, and it's just like, "Girl, like, are you cool?" And
Yeah.
it's like, "Nah, not really," and a lot of the times,
Right.
I didn't notice I was actually doing it because to me, I'm learning to take up for myself. But really, girl, now you
Yeah.
just seem crazy or mean and rude. And it's like everything don't need a response. And I'm like, "Nah, I see that
Yeah.
now. But back then, I don't care if you ask for a response or not, I'm gonna tell you." gonna tell you
And
every
I
time.
will say this. I didn't again, I think when we both I mean, we're 6 years apart. So, I think when a lot of stuff really started escalating, we were definitely in different stages of our lives at that time. So, I never really saw that from Destiny per se. To me, I saw more of the passive side because I used even when I was in college, like, some girl wanted to fight her when they first moved to Houston. And I was ready to drive down like, "Oh, well, she thinks you gonna be at the bus stop by yourself, but you're not. Like, what you like?" And my mama's like, "You're not driving down here." What time she get out of school? Cause I could be there in 5 hours. And so I felt like she was too quiet, but the hard part is that when she was ready to talk, if at any point she felt like you was not 100, like, and when I say 100, there is no gray area, honey. 100% on her side, not y'all arguing. So I feel like I didn't really know how to help navigate anything with her because that maybe it was a red flag for me at the time too, because I didn't you know how sometimes they tell you to listen, then answer, no rebuttals. Well, I felt
Right.
like when she would say something like, I'm already ready to give her the rebuttal. So I'm like, now we're arguing, and I ain't even the one who started any of this. So I would just be like listening, but no feedback. You gonna do what you want to do anyways. What you talking to me about it for? Which is not a good way to handle anything. And I don't want to say that was one of my red flags, but I do feel like how we're saying when you get to these points with your emotions, whether you're sad, very happy, or you're getting angry, which is ours, when you don't know your median, it's very hard to meet somebody in the middle and knowing that they're actually trying to help you, or even if you in a heated argument with that person and finding their point of view. Because you're either fits to sit there and just let them talk and then walk away knowing like, yeah, they got me effed up, do it again, and I am gonna slap you, or I'm already about to slap you. And so
Or you already
I
got
feel like
slapped.
it can be very hard. Oh, you already got slapped. Nothing in the middle though. There is nothing in the middle to say I can, agree to disagree and I can
Right.
respectfully see your point, but these are my morals or values, or I hope that we can find a happy medium. There wasn't one. And I feel like that was also a reason why I'll say for me, took me so long to figure out what to do and feel comfortable with the action I was making when I was angry, because I just feel like you can't, like, don't put me in a bubble. Don't make me feel like I can't be heard. But like you said, not everything needs to be said. And not every point needs like every little bullet point with the PowerPoint, to be broken down. You just have to know, like, I'm walking away from my peace right now because whatever it is that you saying, I'm not hearing you. But I will say this, I learned that from Bree. That didn't come to me naturally. Cause he'll be the first one to be like, I'm going upstairs. And I'd be like walking right behind him. So no, cause you said
And another thing.
it's not a fact.
And he's like,
Can't
he's
do that.
crazy.
Give somebody space, please.
Yeah, and it's crazy that you brought that up because I feel like that was one of my other red flags was especially I mean, I feel like most kids are that way, but it took me to get into like my younger adult days to be like my mama used to always say, it's the constructive criticism thing. I don't wanna hear that. Girl, look, you either agree with me or you do. I just and it's not to say that I felt like I could do no wrong, but it was just like, I'm finally expressing how I feel, and what do you mean I'm wrong? What do you mean I should have went about
Yeah.
it this way? What do you mean it's just like, so I'd rather just shut up. And it's just like, I don't know. So once I learned how, like, my mom was like, you need to learn how to take constructive criticism. I'm not saying that you're bad. This is to help you. Well, and in
Yeah.
my head, if why would I need help if it wasn't bad? So you're contradicting yourself. But to her, it's just like I'm just trying to, before it can get escalate and get so bad, let's nip it in the bud right now. And I'm trying to help you so that and it's 'Cause me and my mama, she always, "You act like me, Destiny. It didn't work out for me when I was your age, and it's not gonna work out for you. That attitude, this and this." I don't know. If I had a dollar for every time I've heard that. And so I just had to learn, like, people are not correcting me out of like anger or because they, want to yell at me or they just want to disagree with me. They're literally genuinely trying to help me. So I had to learn how to accept that constructive criticism. One, let me stop it right there. Constructive criticism from people who can actually help me grow. I'm not taking
Yeah.
constructive criticism from somebody who is just as jacked up in the head as I am. Okay? First of all. And I had to learn that because I'm like, okay, the constructive criticism, whatever. And that's why I'm saying it was either black or white with me. I'm either taking that constructive criticism from whoever, or I don't want to hear it at all. That's what that is a red flag. You gotta find a happy medium
Yeah.
between almost anything because it's like if you're on one end of the spectrum versus the other, and they're both pretty much negative, what you gotta do? What are you going? Where are you gonna go from there? And I had to learn like these people are not trying to. They're correcting me because they care, you know. And it took me to
Yeah.
get out of my own way to be like, okay, what they're saying isn't necessarily even bad. It's just probably something I didn't want to hear, but it don't mean that it's bad. And that
Yeah.
was a red flag for sure. 'Cause, I don't wanna hear nothing y'all talking about constructive
A
I don't know, whatever. Criticize your mama,
and she
not
the
me.
queen of not talking to you. Like,
Huh?
and I said you were the queen of, like, not talking. Like, when I say, like, she wouldn't talk to you, like, out of sight, out of mind, she could see you. Oh. Literally see it's like looking straight through you, like, "What? This is crazy." And I'm more so of, like, I speak to you knowing you mad. I don't know. You call it petty, but it's something about when people be like, "Oh, they wanna be big mad." That just tickles me, and I'm like, "Hey."
Girl, not me.
This is not the way she is not like that. She just be like, "Whatever. You said what you said.
Right.
That's how you felt. Cool. Move. Bye." Okay.
Right, and I would literally never
You know what I mean?
y'all, I'm not I was gonna say something, but I ain't gonna say it wasn't nothing crazy. It was just like, I've had somebody in my life that I literally had to pretty much see them almost every day, and I wouldn't say a word to them. I don't care. I don't care. You could be an adult. You could be I didn't care. Once I feel like you wronged me, oh, you will never get a chance to speak to me again. And I just and it was just like some of those things were simple things that could have easily been resolved with a conversation, I guess, or both of us being
Mhm.
open to receiving that constructive criticism. But back then, I said what I said. You either like it or you don't. I don't care. But I said it. And then to me that's a red flag because it's just like
Yeah.
why is it okay for you to say how you feel about other people? But as soon as somebody try to,
Yeah.
correct your behavior, it's like, "Oh,
I
girl,
would never.
please." Yeah, red flag, flag on
You
the
don't
play,
know
that
how
was
I
me.
was raised. Yeah, because it's like it's a reason. I think
Mhm,
it took me to realize that I was doing the very things that I said I would never do, and then realizing where I learned the behavior from to stop me. But I think because I also had a partner that did things totally different, like, that was and I was like, "That's working for him." You know what I'm saying? And I was like, "Let me try that." Now, I ain't gonna say it worked all the time, because sometimes I'd be like, "Nah, you gonna hear what the hell I gotta say." I text you from downstairs.
right.
Or I just start talking to myself out loud, which sounds crazy. Be like, "Nah, I know. He know." And then all of a sudden some catch it. "What did you say?" "Oh, no, you ain't wanna talk.
She cuckoo.
For Cocoa Puffs. But I do I think I think the biggest thing for me now with my red flag is realizing when my red flag is about to pop. This has nothing to do with anybody else. Because everybody else is gonna sometimes people say things and they're like, "Oh, I didn't even mean it like that. Like I wasn't even really coming for you. I just was stating whatever." You know what I mean? And I
Mhm.
could be offended. What is it that you're doing or saying that's becoming a trigger for me? once I could identify when my red flag was about to pop, I could either redirect the conversation to say, "Hey, I really don't want to argue with you. Uh, but if you want to say how you feel, you can have the floor. And when I speak, then I don't want you talking because I'm not gonna say nothing while you talking." Which was a hard thing because as soon as somebody say something that offends you in the midst of them getting what their part out, it'd be like, wait, back up. Because when did you even how we even got there? What made you even say that? Now you ain't even on topic. You mad about something else now. So I think I had to learn how to silence myself for the most part. Brianna would probably say, girl, you don't ever shut up. But he has come down and be like, you do a much better job now with how we conversate or communicate about something, even if you don't like it. And most of that was just me being honest with how I felt and then coming to him calmly. So I'm about to have 3 kids. So the way I would prefer everybody to put something up is totally different from the rest of these 3 people I live with. And one day I was frustrated because I felt like he wasn't helping. And usually I would bottle that, continue to clean, continue to go around and do everything. And then eventually be in the kitchen like, don't nobody know how to put stuff up but me. Clearly, y'all must think like, again, talking to myself, but out loud. And they know I'm talking about them. And then I stopped doing that. We sat down, we ate breakfast, and then I said, I really feel like y'all are taking advantage of me. I feel like I'm cleaning every day. I really wish people would help and do X, Y, and Z. And when I tell you that changed how we communicate. Now, it don't always work with a 8-year-old and a 4-year-old because they sometimes still be doing stuff that make you go, who is right? Because I know I said that 2 freaking seconds. But other
Literally.
than that, it's it's a better way of communicating than just blowing up on somebody because I'm frustrated about it, whatever it is.
Right. And I had to learn to, like you said, in a moment when somebody is speaking, it's like, oh, stop it right there. I got something to say about that. That was me.
For real.
I'm not.
Hold
What's the
on.
point of?
Please go over there. See what I'm talking about? That right there. I literally, before I got on this podcast,
Yep.
said, do not bother me. If you need something, get your daddy. But no, they want to stand in this window.
We gotta get you a curtain, girl.
Working on it. I know, but it wouldn't work. They'd just be moving the curtain.
Right. Peekaboo.
But anyway,
But
I
yeah,
apologize.
don't go up on us. But
No,
yes,
I
I
won't.
had to learn.
I'm good.
I had to learn that though, just giving the people their space to speak and allow. But that's another thing, allowing them, even if they didn't agree. Like I hate the whole saying agree to disagree. Cause at that point, I done expressed all my emotions. I done did all of this. We done been going back and forth for an hour. You just want to agree to disagree? We got nowhere. What was the point? I hate that
That's
saying.
true.
I hate it, honestly. Sometimes I guess it is just necessary, especially if you're voicing how you feel about something. Y'all are just not okay. At a certain point, I am just gonna say, you know what? We talking in circles, you know. But at the same time, I feel like that just resolves nothing. Why are we? I don't want to agree to disagree. That sounds dumb, honestly. Who made that up? I don't know. But I just feel like I had to learn how to allow people to feel how they wanted to feel, regardless if it went against how I felt or not. And just be okay with
Yeah.
that. Because just because they feel differently about it doesn't mean I need to change how I feel about something. Because you
Yeah.
didn't do it. You stood 10 toes down on how you felt about it. But when I do it, it's a problem. So I just feel like I've learned. And then sometimes the sad part about that is when that has happened to me, that has caused me to like lose relationships, whatever, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Not everybody's meant to stay. But I used to feel like, well, I don't, one, as much as I say, oh, I would act like you don't exist. I would act like, whatever. I also didn't like people being mad at me. I still don't. I don't know what it is. And if you are mad at me, baby, just tell me so I can know. But I don't like the silent animosity stuff. I don't like nothing about that. So I just feel like I had to learn to just accept that people handle situations differently. And at first it would literally grind my gears. Like, no, you're gonna, like, I'm forcing it out. You're gonna tell me. what the problem, and they
Oh,
just
yeah,
don't
yeah,
want
yeah.
to. They and you have to just you know, accept it for what it is. And a lot of these things I had to learn through relationships. I know Brittany said that she learned a lot from her husband, but her and her husband been together since that she was like 23, 24. I met Corey when I was 28. I should know better by now. And so and by the time I met Corey, who is also a very calm person, it was something that I was
Mhm.
already in the process of learning. I'm not gonna say, because it has been some times when I would look at Corey and be like, if I would have known you about 5 years ago, boy, I don't know if we'll be here today. Cause child, I don't know. But I
And
do
that's
appreciate,
honesty.
yeah. But I do appreciate like to be able to find those people that can help you grow. Cause like I said, the old Destiny, I don't care about your constructive criticism. This is how I feel, and this is what I'm standing on. But a lot of the times I used to act on emotion all the time. I'm not logically thinking about nothing.
Mm,
You hurt my feelings. So that's all we need to be talking about right now. I don't care that the light was
mm.
red and I didn't stop fast enough. I felt like, as wrong as I may, my point is, as wrong as I may be, as long as I feel like my emotions are valid, uh, the logical part, we can deal with that later. But that literally makes, that make no sense. Like, I don't know what was wrong with me, y'all. A few wires were crossed. My head big, but it was some things was malfunctioning up in there. But I have been delivered.
But yeah, but I think it goes back to like when you talk about our personalities, because mine is more logical. Like when you don't come to me with your emotion. Come to me with something
Mm,
that makes sense. If it, and I know I've been like trying to get away from like horoscopes, but when people be like Virgos are perfectionists and they think they know it all, it's just it's a thing with me. And if you don't make sense, I really don't care what you saying because what? And then after a while, I'm just like, well, it's your life. As long as it don't affect me, I have no problem with that. Which I think sometimes, I don't know if I want to say that's my second red flag, but I do have this thing where if like you're not my immediate family, I don't know why, but you can do certain things that don't make sense. I know you gonna fall off the cliff, and I'm not helping because you're not like you decided. I said what I had to say. You kept going. I'm not calling you no more. But with people that I care about, I will. And I would feel bad if like I know I didn't call or I didn't, at least say my piece
mhm.
or whatever the case may be. But other people, I'm like, oh shoot. Well, whoop de doo.
Whoop-de-doo.
And so mine is more logical than it is of feelings. And I
Yeah.
prefer to be heard. And I used to use the saying that you said you didn't like, which is agree to disagree. But now I feel like, and you could tell me if this is like sounding weird, but I feel like maybe now more so than it was like when I was in my 20s, the agree to disagree is finding your common ground now. You can disagree. Like when we grew up, you did not use the dishwasher. I know to a lot of y'all gonna be like, what does that mean? The dishwasher was there to dry the dishes. You wash the dishes, then you put the
Mhm.
dishes in the dishwasher. They dried, and then you put the dishes up. And then my mama would run the dishwasher to clean the dishwasher. Listen, but no dishes was being washed. That
No,
makes sense, right? So when I went to college and then when I met Bree, of course, to them, it's like you rinse the dirty dishes, just rinse them so ain't no food in it. Then you put them in the dishwasher and then you run the dishwasher. Y'all really don't know how hard it took me to get to that point. So I was literally washing every dish, whether it was coming out the cabinet or coming out because now I don't know what's clean. Because
right,
did you run the dishwasher and I put the clean dishes? I don't know what's
right.
happening. So I was, and it's a very small thing, but it came to agree to disagree. And it was like, okay, I'm willing to run the dishwasher. You just gonna have to put the dishes up. You know, if you don't want to clean the dishes, or like, don't put my pots in my dishwasher. Wash the
Right.
pots. But you can put the
Okay.
bowls, the fork, so it's coming to a compromise of something that makes it very much sense to me, but something that's to him is like, yeah, Brittany, we're not doing all that. Cause I'd be like, how
Right.
you not do that? It was very weird. Very small, I know. But I feel like now the agree to disagree thing is finding common ground on what it is that y'all probably are not going to 100% agree on, to do it my specific way, but we're coming to a common ground of like, okay, I don't like how you did that, but you had this one good point. Let's take that one good point, your one good point, and then we're going to put them together. And we're going to come up with
Right.
a solution. I feel like it's what we do more so now than, like you say, just walking away being like, you stupid. Because that's what I be thinking. That didn't even make no sense.
That's what I be saying. That's dumb.
Dummy.
My
Yeah,
mama
big
used to hate that.
dummy.
I used to say that so much growing up. Well, that's stupid. Everything can't be stupid. That's girl, that was stupid.
But that was very stupid.
Right. And that, okay, when you do the agree to disagree like that, now we can work with something. But if you're just saying, I said what
Yes.
I said, you said what you said, and they are two totally different things, no, that is not gonna work for me. I hate the agree to disagree. But I also
Okay, so
hate going back and
go
forth.
ahead. I got a question, but go ahead.
No, I was just saying that I hate the whole going back and forth thing and we're not getting anywhere. I hate that too. So at that point, I guess I am agreeing to disagree, but I hate that that's what it has to come down to if there is no actual
Yeah.
compromise in the situation. That's all I was saying. What's your question?
So with your red flag and knowing your red flag, when the moments come up that you fit to get pissed, like what are you doing to not go off the rail and fully like
Mm,
out here waving your red flag like you see it?
I've I've learned to just walk away in certain situations. I've had this one person
Okay.
and they was doing something to me. And I said, it's probably best that you just leave me alone. Like chill out, They would not let it
Yeah.
go. And I just went. So now I'm ballistic. If you don't give me a chance to exercise my white flag, the red flag might have to come out. And
Not
back
to
then,
exercise.
like I'm trying not to go off on you, bruh. Like, calm down, tread lightly. They didn't understand that. And as soon as I went left on them, they couldn't even be mad at me because they was literally just like, you told me to leave you alone. And I did. And I did. I just don't understand why you couldn't understand that from the jump. So for me, I've learned to know when I am gonna possibly go left and just take a step back and just be like, you know what? Is it even worth it? One. And two, is it worth my own peace? Like, you are making me mad. I could just get rid of you for a moment and keep my peace. But I
Yeah.
don't want to, I don't know. I have to, and it took also being around people who allow you that same space and respect for you to gather yourself. Because if you talk to me right now and I'm telling you I don't want to talk right now, you can't force somebody to do something they don't want to do. And I done told you that I'm
Yeah.
mad. So now, like I said, I'm an emotional person. So I'm acting off emotion. And I don't care nothing about what you're saying because I told you to leave me alone. I need that time to go find the logical standpoint of stuff sometimes. I really do. Because
Yeah.
a lot of the times I'm just focused on how it made me feel. Right? But if I step back and really think
Yeah.
about it, give me some time. Hold up. Because if you
That makes
don't,
sense.
we going to be arguing about something totally different in a second.
And you're
So
gonna
yeah,
be stupid.
exactly. That's stupid. So
You're
yeah,
stupid.
I guess
You're
that's a very
done.
like, you're done. I guess that's a very generalized, like little cliche answer, like, oh, I just need time. But time really does. I mean, if you take the time to actually like actively work through the situation and not just take some time and you don't even think about what just happened and they come back and sometimes, okay, that has happened to me too. I be like, I don't even want to think about that right now. They come back. What about what we was talking about earlier? I'd be like, what about it? Look, my emotions done calmed down. I don't even care no more. So I feel like I had to learn how to actively work through my I need a moment, you know? So that was another
Yeah.
thing. I could ask for the moment, but what am I doing with the moment? Girl, I done went
Yeah.
shopping. I'm at Target and you at home mad. I don't even care no more. But nothing still got resolved, you know? So still being considerate that there is something that needs to be fixed. So yeah.
Yeah. I like that. That's good. That's a good way to deal with that red flag, in my opinion. Mine
Mhm.
is choosing the right words. Because it's one thing to be like, stop talking to me. You just don't talk to me. Now I'd be like, I'm really gonna need some time because I really don't I don't want to say something that I'm gonna regret. Or
Mhm.
like I feel like that's much easier than be like, shut up, stop talking to me because you really fit to piss me off. So it's best that you go wherever you gonna go and let me do whatever it is that I'm gonna do. Because
Mhm.
you sound real stupid, right? Like that's usually how
Right.
like I tell y'all, okay, it's growth over here. Okay, we're growing. So I started that way with me walking away and not going off. And so
Mhm.
now it's more so like I will literally look at Bree and I'll say, I'm gonna need some time. Like, give me some time and I'm gonna come back. Even with friends, if something is going on or like if Destiny feel like, we need to talk about something and I'm not ready, I'll just be like, today is not a good day for me to talk. I got X, Y, and Z going on. I cannot focus on that at this moment. It's not that I
Right.
forgot about it. I just don't have the focus for it. So sometimes it's just saying what it is versus me trying to ignore it or getting upset with the person for trying to come back to the conversation, if that makes sense.
Mm.
And I've learned to do that a lot better because Brian's will be the first one to be like, homegirl crazy and she not rap tight and she just be out here. Well, he used to be like, you disrespectful. And I'd be like, I think you just don't know how to handle the truth.
Of
That's just
course.
not good. That's not a good way to like be talking
No.
to people. So I think kind of slowing down that helped. But when I go back to the conversation, what also helps is me not thinking about my rebuttals to everything that they said, but really thinking about what they said. And then you got to get to this hard part, y'all, which is apologizing. Because sometimes, you want to say, I apologize, but I meant what I said. And it's like, well,
Right.
it's not an apology. Again,
Right.
growth, people,
Because
growth. Uh,
my thing is, they'll be like, "Are you gonna say sorry?" No, because
oh,
I'm not, and then it's gonna be fake. I'm not sorry though. It's like,
yeah, I feel like
girl.
you are. I feel like you should be apologizing.
Exactly. Look, another red flag.
Oh, yeah, exactly. People know your red flags, know when you're about to be triggered, and then act on that. I think a lot of us tend to feel like if you're vocal anyways, like I feel like I'm a vocal person. So I do feel like most of my anger or me going off will be more so is because it's like, I already told you I didn't like that. I already told you I
Mhm.
don't get down like that. So when you do it, it's immediate. It's immediately not oh, you want to argue or to me, it's an immediate form of disrespect. You've already disrespected me. Why? Because you doing something or you saying something that you already know I don't like. Because I know I done
Right.
told you I don't like it. So the moment I feel disrespected now, almost like a little tit for tat, you fit to feel disrespected. And I meant what I said. And it's like that gets you nowhere when you respond to people that way. Because sometimes people grow up in different environments. So what could be a big deal to you is like very minute to them,
Yeah.
and I learned that along the way. Like some people would get very upset at certain things and I'd be like, I just don't understand how you got that upset. Like Bree, if he
Right.
gets upset, I'd be like, I don't even know why you
I'm
still talking
down.
about. It. Why you still talking about it? You real mad, ain't you? And
Right.
not to and not to shut down his feelings because if he's mad about it, and I'm the person he wants to talk to, then I need to be able to sit there and listen. Same with my friends.
Right.
Sometimes I would have said something because it didn't make sense to me. They be like, well, don't tell Brittany because you know she gonna say what she gotta say.
Right.
But I say it more respectfully now. Or I'll just be, or if I'm not talking, they know it's because I haven't figured out the respectful way to say what I need to say. So I don't say
Me
nothing.
and Corey got that in common. I just be like, look, don't even.
Like,
Because it's
don't
like, do
even
you
bring it up.
really want to know the truth? But
And if
also
you don't, that's okay.
another thing that helped me was prioritizing my own peace too. It's just like a lot of the arguing, I don't like confrontation, which is another reason why I was
Mm-hmm.
so passive. I don't want to go back and forth with you. I really don't. I have no problem speaking my mind these days, but I
Yeah.
genuinely do not want to argue with nobody. I don't.
Yeah.
Why? Ugh, like leave me alone. So I'd rather just step away from a situation solely just because it's like this is not worth ruining my day.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. It's very annoying. And then after the fact, after even if I do sit there and go back and forth with somebody or whatever the case may be, afterwards I don't ever really just feel like told them. I'm still sitting there like to pick like picking out certain things of the conversation. I'm truly still not at peace about it. So I'd rather just not
Yeah.
even go there now. Back then, I probably would just went there. But now, I genuinely don't. I don't be having the time. Baby, you can say or think, feel whatever, however you want to feel. As long as that don't affect my personal life, my family, my health, my anything like that. Say it, I don't care.
I'm totally fine.
And being okay with other
Yeah.
people not agreeing with how I feel. It's okay. Girl, I had to learn that last week when we dropped that 50/50 TikTok. And they was in them comments coming after me. Big
But
swerve.
we handled
Yeah.
it very professionally.
But yeah, I'm just like, I just choose to just say, like me and Corey had that conversation. But even when things arise, and it's like I could easily go back to that old me that had the red flag and had
Yeah.
always had something to say, and you're not gonna talk to me any kind of way. But you have to just learn that everything is not meant because some things are sent is literally just to destroy your peace. So baby,
Yeah.
I ain't got time. I don't got time to
Yeah.
deal with your red flags. Cause you ain't finna bring my red flags back. Ah.
That
Hmm.
part.
So yeah. Allowing people be who they are and not allow it to like cause me to go back to something that I grew from. So yeah.
Food on front. Yeah. I like
That's it.
that.
That's how
I almost feel like we gave out your done your
moment.
done
Yeah.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
I feel like that's yeah. So I'm done feeling like I have to say everything. And I'm also done with feeling like I have to say everything right then and there. I can come back later and I can say what I need to say respectfully without having to talk about your mom. But her bald headed now.
Okay. She's not done. She's working on it.
I don't be talking about nobody, mama. But y'all know that be the first thing. But
No, for real.
all y'all ugly. Somebody
Mm.
gotta be ugly in an argument.
Right.
It
Never
ain't
met your
me.
mama. Never met your
I
mama
ain't never
before,
met your mama. But based on what I'm looking at, I'm just gonna go out on a
go out on whim and say she ain't that cute either.
right. She has something to do with this.
Unless you just look like your
But no,
daddy,
for
that
real.
mix.
No, wait. I'm really done with popping off at the moment that I feel like you disrespecting me. I can calmly ask you what you meant by what you said before I get the popping off. And I can also calmly remove myself from the situation to avoid popping off. And then if I
Right.
feel like I need to come back to you to have a conversation, if we work together in a relationship, I feel like more so in a relationship, you probably should come back to the conversation. But it doesn't have to be in every form of a relationship with someone. You can make the decision that this is my peace and I'm going to keep it. So I don't need to do this with you.
Right.
So, yeah.
I'm the same way. I ain't got time, really.
Amen.
I'm growing a human from scratch. I ain't got time
Uh,
to go back and forth with you.
that part. I'm
I
growing
ain't
my
got
third
time.
human from scratch. You think I got time to go back and forth with you? You want to argue.
Right. And I don't got the time, the patience, the energy to go back and forth with you. I'm
No,
sorry. So yeah,
at
protect
all.
your peace, y'all.
But this is a
And
great episode.
I agree, because I feel like it's always so easy to point out the red flags to somebody else, but really take that time to sit down and think about what it is that you could work on. We all got something we can work on.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my red flags, y'all. They're my old ones. I ain't got no more no more. No, sweet.
Nah. Well, to be honest, my red flag is probably always gonna be my red flag because life happens. Things go on. Things still do trigger me from time to time. So I'm not perfect. So I would hate to say like it's my red flag and I got rid of it. No, it's a red flag that I constantly work on. So I can be
No,
better at
same.
how I communicate with those that I love and those that I work with or whatever the case may be. I don't think my red flag just disappears, especially because it's something that I think is embedded in like our family. So
Mm.
I'm just trying to do better. It's not always perfect, but I feel like I've done a lot better with in ways of which I do handle it. So if you have
Right.
a
So
red
it
flag
ain't
and you feel like it's still here, it's probably always gonna be there. You just gotta
it
do
ain't
better
really
with it.
red no more though. It's like pink.
Yeah,
my
it's a
red,
little washed out. We
my
put a little bleach on it.
right. I'm getting it together because I have that
Yeah, it's
bad too.
cleaned
Like
up a little
especially
bit.
when
It's more polished.
exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have that bad too. Like I'll get so frustrated or angry, and then I just get to one thing that I'm really, really, really working on, and I've been working on for a long time. Lord help me. It's cussing, right? And so when I get mad, oh, and Corey would tell he, babe, you just it's just when you get mad, why do you have to talk like that? Because you done piss me off. And it's like,
Right?
but he did deserve
Shots
that. Let me
fired.
think.
Pew
Let's
pew.
think about it. And so I'm learning to regulate and step away if I got to because what's gonna come out my mouth ain't very nice, and I'm working on it. Oh,
Thank you.
help us out. Why you making me mad?
Right. But
So
oh
yeah,
my gosh. Well, we thank y'all for tuning in
for another
to another
episode of the Your
episode.
Done podcast. We gonna see
Yes.
y'all at the same time next week. Peace. I want corn. I don't know. It was like in the middle of the episode, something was like, I want some corn. I don't know.
That was random. I've been sitting here saying, please don't pee on yourself. You over there worried about corn.
And
'Cause I
I don't
gotta
even
pee.
eat corn for real. I don't know why I want some
That's
corn.
crazy. I don't know.
Not the waddle.
That was 50